The concept of attraction is a complex spectrum, ranging from casual interest to a deep, silent preoccupation that borders on obsession. When someone harbors an intense fixation but chooses to keep it hidden, they exist in a state of constant emotional conflict. On one hand, they are driven by an overwhelming desire to be near you and to be noticed by you. On the other, they are paralyzed by the fear of rejection or the social consequences of revealing the true depth of their feelings. This internal struggle creates a unique set of behavioral leaks, subtle, repetitive patterns that bypass their conscious control and reveal the truth of their fixation. Understanding these signs is not just about vanity, it is about recognizing the psychological undercurrents that dictate how people navigate their most intense, unspoken desires. At its core, a hidden obsession is characterized by hyperfocus. While a typical friend or admirer might enjoy your company, an obsessed individual archives your existence. They become silent historians of your life, tracking your habits, your preferences, and your movements with a level of detail that feels almost supernatural. This intensity stems from a need to feel connected to you, in a world where they haven't yet secured a formal place in your heart. By monitoring your social media, appearing in your physical orbit, and remembering the smallest details of your conversations, they build a private version of intimacy that exists entirely within their own minds. This one-sided bond provides them with a sense of security, allowing them to feel like an essential part of your world, without having to face the vulnerability of an actual confession. However, maintaining such a secret is exhausting, and the pressure often manifests as physical and social inconsistencies. The hot and cold communication, the sudden nervousness, and the territoriality toward your other friends are all symptoms of an emotional state that is becoming increasingly difficult to contain. They are essentially performing a high-stakes balancing act, trying to stay close enough to remain relevant, but distant enough to remain safe. These 15 signs serve as a roadmap for identifying when someone has moved beyond simple liking and into the territory of a silent, focused obsession. By observing these patterns, you can begin to see the invisible threads of attachment that they have carefully woven around your daily life, revealing a truth they are not yet brave enough to speak aloud. Intense and frequent eye contact from afar. This behavior serves as a powerful indicator of deep preoccupation because it bypasses the direct vulnerability of a face-to-face conversation. When someone is obsessed but hiding it, they use visual monitoring as a way to maintain a connection without having to reveal their feelings through words. You might catch them looking at you from across a crowded room, only for them to quickly dart their eyes away the moment you make eye contact. This gaze and dodge cycle suggests they are constantly aware of your position and movements. In their mind, watching you provides a sense of closeness, allowing them to observe your expressions, your interactions with others, and your general demeanor. This level of focus is rarely casual. It indicates that you are the central point of their environment, and they are subconsciously drawn to your presence, even when they are physically distant. Consistent engagement with your social media archives. While modern social interaction often involves digital connectivity, an obsessed individual will go far beyond the standard like on a recent post. They tend to perform deep dives into your digital history, viewing stories consistently and perhaps accidentally liking a photo from several years ago. This behavior stems from a desire to understand your past, your growth, and the people who were once important to you. By consuming your archives, they feel they are catching up on a life they weren't a part of, creating a one-sided intimacy. This digital trail is often the only place where they feel safe expressing their interest without the immediate risk of social rejection. They become experts on your preferences, past vacations, and old friendships, building a comprehensive mental profile of you that far exceeds the knowledge of a typical acquaintance or casual friend. They seem to be everywhere you are by coincidence. When chance encounters begin to happen with statistical impossibility, it is rarely a coincidence. An individual who is secretly obsessed will often go to great lengths to synchronize their schedule with yours. This might mean showing up at your favorite coffee shop, joining the same gym, or attending events they previously expressed no interest in. The goal is to maximize their surface area with you, creating opportunities for organic interactions that don't seem forced. By appearing in your daily orbit, they hope to become a familiar and reliable fixture in your life. This proximity allows them to stay relevant in your mind, while they observe your routine from a safe distance. While they may play it off as a lucky break or a shared interest, The calculated nature of these appearances is a hallmark sign of a focused, hidden fixation. Extreme recall of minor details you mentioned once. Most people struggle to remember what they had for lunch yesterday, but someone who is obsessed will remember a passing comment you made months ago about your favorite childhood toy or a specific allergy. This hyper-retention occurs because every word you speak is treated as high-value data. When they bring up these tiny details later, it can feel incredibly flattering, but it also signals an intense level of active listening that is unusual for platonic or casual relationships. They aren't just hearing you, they are archiving you. This detailed memory is their way of showing how much they value you, even if they aren't ready to say it directly. It demonstrates that you have their undivided attention and that they spend a significant amount of time reflecting on your conversations. Long after they have ended, replaying your words in their mind, mirroring your body language and verbal patterns. Mirroring is a subconscious biological response that happens when two people are highly synchronized. But in cases of hidden obsession, it becomes more pronounced. You may notice that when you lean back, they lean back. If you use a specific slang term or gesture, they begin to adopt it as well. This mimicry is an evolutionary attempt to build rapport and demonstrate compatibility by reflecting your physical and verbal identity back at you. They are trying to create a sense of sameness and comfort. It makes you feel like you are on the same wavelength, which is exactly what they want, while they might not be aware they are doing it. This behavioral shadowing indicates that their focus on you is so total that it is actually reshaping their own mannerisms to better align with yours. Subtle overprotectiveness in group settings. In a group environment, an obsessed individual often acts as an unspoken guardian. You might notice them constantly positioning themselves between you and potential threats, or individuals they perceive as competitors for your attention. If someone interrupts you or speaks over you, they are likely the first person to steer the conversation back to what you were saying, ensuring you feel heard and valued. This protectiveness often manifests as a hyper-awareness of your comfort levels. If you look slightly uneasy or cold, they are the first to offer a jacket or suggest moving to a different spot. While it can appear as chivalry or deep friendship, the consistency and intensity of this behavior suggest they feel a sense of responsibility for your well-being. They want to be the person you rely on, creating a dynamic where they are your primary source of security and support within a social circle. Noticeable nervousness or fidgeting in your presence. When someone is hiding a deep fixation, the pressure of maintaining a cool exterior often leads to physical leaks of anxiety. You might observe them tapping their fingers, adjusting their clothes repeatedly, or stumbling over their words when you speak directly to them. This physiological response is triggered by the high stakes they have placed on your opinion of them. Every interaction feels like a performance, where they are terrified of making a mistake. Their heart rate may increase, leading to a slight flush in their cheeks, or even shaky hands when passing you an object. Unlike standard social anxiety, this nervousness is specific to you. You might notice they are perfectly calm and articulate when speaking to others, but lose their composure the moment you enter the room. This localized clumsiness is a clear sign that your presence significantly impacts their internal emotional state. They become a constant, silent supporter. An obsessed person often takes on the role of a ghost advocate. They may not always be the loudest person in your life, but they are consistently there in the background, supporting your endeavors in ways that don't require direct confrontation. This could involve recommending your work to others when you aren't around, defending your reputation in conversations you aren't part of, or being the first to like every update you share. They want to contribute to your success and happiness, but they prefer to do it from the shadows to avoid the vulnerability of a direct confession. This silent loyalty is their way of building a foundation of indispensability. They hope that over time, you will realize that they have always been your most reliable ally. It is a long-term strategy designed to make their presence feel like a natural, essential part of your daily support system. Frequent physical proximity without actual touch. The proximity effect is a hallmark of hidden obsession. You will find that this person consistently manages to stand or sit next to you, even when there are plenty of other seats available. They crave physical closeness, but respect the boundary of touch to avoid revealing their true feelings too soon. By staying within your personal bubble, they are able to experience your presence more intensely, noticing your scent, the sound of your voice, and your small movements. They might hover nearby during a party or choose the desk directly adjacent to yours in a workspace. This behavior creates a sense of intimacy without the risk of physical rejection. To them, being just a few inches away is a way to feel connected to you while remaining safe. It is a magnetic pull that they struggle to resist, leading them to gravitate toward your physical space whenever possible. A significant change in their appearance when seeing you. If someone is fixated on you, they will often treat every encounter as an opportunity to impress you. You might notice a sudden upgrade in their grooming style or overall presentation when they know you will be present. This isn't just about looking good. It is a calculated effort to be noticed and deemed attractive in your eyes. They may start wearing a specific color you once complimented or style their hair in a way you mentioned you liked. On days when an encounter is unexpected, they might seem unusually self-conscious or even distressed if they feel they don't look their best. This extreme focus on their physical self-image around you reveals how much weight they place on your perception. They are essentially curating their physical identity to match what they believe you desire, hoping to spark a mutual attraction through visual appeal. They rapidly respond to your messages every single time. In an age of playing it cool, an obsessed individual finds it nearly impossible to delay their response to you. No matter the time of day or how busy they claim to be, your notifications take absolute priority. You might notice that they reply within seconds or minutes, often providing detailed and thoughtful answers even to your shortest texts. This behavior indicates that they likely have their notifications specifically tailored for you, or that they are checking their phone constantly in anticipation of your name appearing on the screen. To them, a message from you is a high-priority event that overrides all other tasks. This level of availability is a subtle way of signaling that they are always waiting for you, making themselves a constant, reliable presence in your digital life while secretly hoping for more. Defensive behavior toward your other close connections. While they may try to hide it, a person with a hidden obsession often feels a quiet sense of jealousy or territoriality regarding your time and attention. You might notice a slight shift in their mood or tone when you bring up a new friend or a potential romantic interest. They may subtly point out the flaws of these people or question their intentions, framing it as looking out for you. This defensiveness is a manifestation of their fear of being replaced or pushed further away from your inner circle. They want to remain the most important person in your life, even if they haven't officially claimed a spot. By casting doubt on others, they are subconsciously trying to keep you isolated within their sphere of influence, ensuring that their bond with you remains protected from outside interference. Inconsistent hot and cold communication patterns. Obsession often breeds internal conflict, leading to hot and cold behavior. One day, they are incredibly attentive, engaging, and supportive. The next, they may suddenly go quiet or act distant. This isn't usually because they've lost interest, but rather an attempt to regain control over their own emotions. They may feel they have revealed too much or acted too desperate. So they pull back to test your reaction or to protect their own pride. This cycle is an emotional defense mechanism. When they are hot, their obsession is driving them to seek your validation. When they are cold, they are trying to prove to themselves and to you that they aren't as affected by you as they truly are. This unpredictability is often a sign of someone struggling to manage an intense, hidden infatuation that they aren't ready to voice, seeking your approval or validation on small decisions. When someone is obsessed, your opinion becomes the primary compass for their choices. They may frequently ask for your advice on trivial matters, like which shoes to buy, how to word an email, or what movie to watch, even if they are perfectly capable of deciding for themselves. This behavior is less about the decision itself and more about the interaction and the validation that comes with your approval. By involving you in these small life details, they are creating a sense of shared intimacy and importance. It makes them feel like your lives are intertwined. They value your perspective above all others, and seeing you approve of their choices provides them with a temporary sense of security. It's a way to keep you engaged in their daily narrative, while reinforcing their dependence on your specific taste and judgment. Prolonged gazing. When they think you aren't looking. This is perhaps the most classic sign of a hidden obsession. While they may be shy about direct eye contact during a conversation, they will often stare at you when they believe you are preoccupied or looking elsewhere. If you turn your head suddenly, you might catch the tail end of a deep, lingering gaze before they quickly look away or pretend to be interested in something else. Unlike a casual glance, This type of looking is intense and observant. They are taking in your features, your expressions, and your essence. To them, watching you is a way to feel close to you without the pressure of interaction. This silent observation is a clear indicator that you are the primary focus of their thoughts, and they find it difficult to pull their eyes away from the person they are fixated on.